I'm Kevin Casey. I'm a professional mixed martial arts fighter. And right now, what I'm about to do is issue a warning out to all other competitors.
I don't want overs. I just expect them to happen.
Fatty's gonna fatty is real.
Oh, give me fucking truth, baby. Come on. Let's go.
How have I been this successful in life?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the MMA Analysis Podcast. Coming off a kind of fun little card last week down in Brazil. The lads did their thing. We've got hockey and basketball playoffs. NCAA lacrosse tournament starting. Obviously, huge draw for the folks. We know that's why they're as opposed to this sport, but we'll get there. To winning at this sport. As soon as lacrosse is done, you know, the wise old owl once said that you can only be good betting one sport at a time. So when it's lacrosse season, I pick lacrosse. When lacrosse season's done, then we can be good at MMA again. So just a couple of weeks away, folks. You'll be good.
You gotta get that puck elevated, Brad. Get it elevated, bro.
That's right. As you can tell, Wes is back with us this week. Wes, I had to talk to Shaun all last week and the week before that, and probably the week before that as well. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing good, doing better now. Had a couple bouts of some
AIDS,
Ebola, AIDS mixture shit. Yeah, it's great having a kid. Shaun will start experiencing this soon, and we'll be laughing at him. But yeah, good to be back. Coming off a pretty good card. I thought the Brazil card was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome watching a couple of my favorite Brazilian fighters get some wins and
make money off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And, we'll talk about it. And like you said, we got the LAX tournament about to start. We got some good hockey. The main event's coming up here in a little bit. Oh, Mr. Connor McGoat and the boys are going to try to do their thing, get this series started right. And NBA's been great too. Kind of disappointed with the Nuggets Wolves series. Our boy Ant Edwards might be the second coming of his paternal father, MJ, because that man is absolutely insane, and they are smoking the Nuggets right now. And Jamal Murray's losing his shit and throwing heating packs on the court and everything else. So
I know that I should support Jamal Murray because he's Canadian. He's from like 20 minutes down the road from where I live. But that guy just seems like such a fucking dickhead. Like I know there's guys like Luka that complain after every play and stuff like that, but Jamal Murray is one of my least favorite players to watch, or maybe not to watch, but my least favorite players in the NBA.
I wouldn't go that far because there's some way.
He's from bluegrass.
There's some way higher level complainer, even on his own team. Like Jokic literally complains every time down the court. So does like Luka is all-time team complainer already in this league. Like, but
it's not just the complaining. It's like
when he's losing
attitude. And
when he's
kind
losing,
of a piss baby when they're losing.
When things aren't going their way, he is an absolute fucking crybaby. I don't know if that's a Kentucky thing because I think Devin Booker's the same way. When things are not going right, Devin Booker will seem like your most, want nothing to do with that dude. But yeah, that series is Ant Edwards that fucking good? Like the guy might be. He literally might be that dude. So NBA playoffs been good. Maybe the Thunder Mavs series gets a little bit more exciting than the Nuggets Wolves because I think OSGA might have got an MVP stolen from him actually, and I'm as big a Jokic fan as you'll find. I think SGA might have been the MVP this year.
I wish he got I don't wish he got it stolen from him, but I wish he got the MVP because we had a little bit of that.
I had a couple bucks on SGA, and it's not the money wasn't that much money to where it was the loss, but SGA on that squad, best record in the league on that squad. He's playing with Chet Holmgren and some dude named Gidley Dort. I mean, those are the guys that he had the best record in the NBA with in the number 1 seed. That dude was the MVP this year.
Jalen Williams could have been most improved as well because that dude.
I mean, I'm not great. They're the second youngest team in the league with the best record in the league. Like that, they're good. Like there's no denying that they're good. But like, come on, like Jokic is playing with Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon and Porter. Like he's got a squad. Like, come on, SGA is like he was MVP this year.
Could have been. Shaun, how are you?
Very good. Ready to be let down.
Stop.
And until the Kings game, which let's hope this is a change for the better. The Oilers had not won a game 1 since 2017.
That's not that long ago.
They do make it tough on themselves. They do make it fucking tough.
I think that's like 4 seasons of playoffs, and they've been to the second round at least twice there. And that includes like playing games and shit like that in the COVID year. Like but they did it against the Kings. Let's hope they steal at least one in Vancouver, and we should be good.
Yeah.
Others just took the lead.
Yeah. Is it always in the first round where they lose game 1, or is it like every round?
It's every round, like literally every round.
Yeah. They'll get over it. They're fine.
Yeah. Let's go.
Fights last week. Down in Brazil, UFC 301. Good time was had by most Brazilians. Not all, but most. Obviously, main event. What was that, Wes?
The ones that mattered.
Exactly. And those are probably going to be the ones that we're going to spend all of our time talking about. Main event, flyweight championship. Alexandre Pantoja, unanimous decision over Steve the Egg Dude. Steve the Egg Dude, pretty good.
Pretty Turns out.
But I thought he pretty clearly lost this fight. Yeah, good fight, competitive fight, way more competitive. Well, I guess not way more competitive than people thought. It was only minus 180 for Pantoja or somewhere around there heading into this fight. So it was going to be a competitive fight. It turned out to be a competitive fight. We say this about flyweights a lot. There's a lot of real good flyweights.
Yeah, that's kind of kept me off betting him, and I instead took doesn't go decision, and so egg on my face. I guess I should just listen to you, Brad, because yeah, he does things that it doesn't make sense. He's got a ridiculous chin, just walks through shit, looks fucking tired a minute into the fight, and he's not actually tired. He just is disheveled as fuck.
There were people all over Twitter that were falling for it again. That were literally like, I think Pantoja's done. He's gassed. I'm like, have y'all ever watched this dude fight in your fucking life? He is tired. He looks tired 2 minutes into the fight.
That's just what he looks like in fights that he doesn't finish in the first round. Yeah, it was a close fight. The Egg Dude has got to be a little pissed at himself. He pissed away in the 5th round. He had a decent chance of taking that round, and he just pissed it away. Which props to Pantoja. That's a veteran fight IQ difference maker, which sometimes can just be the difference in fights like these.
That seems to be a bit of an Egg Dude trend, like not doing a whole lot in the last round of fights. It's happened in every fight that he's gotten to the 3rd round, hasn't it?
Well, it definitely happened the one
or the final round, not necessarily the 3rd round, I should say.
Yeah, the final round, but it definitely happened at least one time before this.
That was the Costa fight. Just held him up against the cage and got lucky that the other guy also didn't do anything in that one, and then not a ton here.
The hindsight of it, that like I thought Pantoja could have won 3 of the first 4. Obviously afterwards he didn't. That takedown attempt, man, that's in Hall time. Like bad fucking move, bro. Like I mean, the round was still obviously up for grabs. Like that wasn't
Neither of them were
necessary.
doing much.
Yeah, that wasn't necessarily the winner, but it was the absolutely losing moment because once that happened, like, and man, Pantoja is fucking awesome. Like that dude gives. I mean, the cut he had where he is leaking, dog. None of that matters to that dude. He is a fucking madman. Like if you can't enjoy watching that guy fight in any of the flyweights, like Brad said, like we knew this was going to be close because it was two top flyweights. Like they're all good. They all have tremendous skills. They all got cardio. They're all good. They're going to be close fights. Like all of these are going to be usually be close fights. But man, Pantoja is fucking, that dude's incredible. I fucking love that guy. We'll talk about our next guy, all timer. That those picks with Pantoja and Aldo, like before from like a decade ago to that night after the fights and shit, man. That's cool shit, dude. The Shogun Hall of Fame announcement that night, like, man, I've been a fan so long, dude. The Brazilians, their mark on this sport might be unrivaled. You know what I'm saying? And the dudes and the moments they've produced for me as a fan, there might not be any other country that's topped what Brazilians have done in this sport. And these are a couple incredible ones.
So I was trying to remember when I was looking back at that picture because there was only there weren't that many RFA events.
Yeah,
because it used to be Legacy FC and RFA, and then they combined into LFA, which is what we kind of see now. But I'm pretty sure that picture was taken after the fight where he choked Damasio Page unconscious right at the end of a round. And yeah, that's good times back then. Good.
What year was that? Did you look it up?
That would have been like 14 or 15.
Yeah, I actually thought I was actually thinking about that the other night to where, and I still every now and then, but man, Friday nights when it was like high level Friday night MMA was so good. It was so good, man. It's not the same anymore. All of these guys are already in the UFC fighting in a fucking warehouse. Like we used to get all of those guys on a Friday night, man, and having like Boz and Kenny Rice do the fucking Inside MMA show. Like, but just all of that, man. I miss that bad. I miss Friday nights bad.
Nostalgia.
Yep.
I know obviously there's the UFC ESPN contract, but it would be nice if an entity like ESPN had an actual decent MMA show that recapped events going on everywhere. Because that's always
not just focus on.
They don't even cover their only MMA guy now, I believe, is Akamoto, because the other dude, he went to the NFL. He bounced. Yeah. He said, "Fuck this," and literally, you won't find a fucking they don't even barely do PFL write-ups on ESPN, and that's their fucking content. Like they never did a Bellator ever. Like they never even covered that shit. Yeah, it's not good. Not good.
They're UFC. They are not MMA.
We'll see for how long, because the subs are starting to go into the tank. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
I don't think some random
NBA ain't cheap.
That's for sure. Back. Speaking of something that might last forever, Jose Aldo winning. It's been happening for 20 years now, and he looked good again on Saturday.
Consensus winner.
I don't even know what to say about this dude. He is, I think he is firmly my favorite fighter of all time. I think I've said this a billion times before, but technically I think he's the best fighter we've ever seen at all facets of MMA. And just beats dudes, unless at this point in his career, they are the very top of the heap. Those are the guys he loses to, and that is it, even at 1 billion years old.
and still kind of gives those guys a tough time at times.
Yeah. He don't just like
You gave him a
getting
Roberts
waxed.
fight.
I know. Yeah, the disrespect for the King of Rio, underdog to Jonathan Martinez.
That's fucking insane.
I'm just pissed at myself for not just absolutely hammering the shit out of this line. Yeah, he rocked him multiple times. Would have been sick to see him get a finish there, but a one-sided beatdown is also quite enjoyable. So we get to see the overall game of one of the greatest ever.
Man, like that was spectacular. Like that, you know the little change that I love about Aldo. Like, we talk about even coming to this fight, leg kicks, of course. Aldo's body work over like the past 5-6 years, his kind of a little change. Man, when he rocked Martinez and then like double dipped into those, but just wow, straight to it. He didn't try to go upstairs. Just that man is nasty, dude. And I like. He might not be the best, but you know what? There's an argument that Aldo is the greatest all-around fighter that we've ever seen. Of course, there's a few others you could put in there, but watching what he's doing at like this age, down at this weight, he's fighting at 135 late in career, not up. He went down to 135 late in his career, and it's like beating some of the best fighters, hanging with the best at the top of the division. The disrespect that Aldo is like Jonathan Martinez is fine. Like he's perfectly fine. But come on now. Like seriously, come on.
Especially the style matchup. Like the thing that Martinez is very good at, Aldo is the best at defending it. So
well, he was never gonna spam takedowns and get Aldo tired. Never. He was never going to spam takedowns in his fight. That's
There's
it. That's
much better wrestlers that can't take down.
I mean, he didn't even try. He was never going to try. He was never going to body. No. He was never going to try to wear Aldo out. That's a wrap. That guy's not good enough to beat Aldo in a straight up fucking kickboxing match. Aldo's an all timer, man. I hope they. No, I kind of hope they re-sign him, but I don't want him to re-sign Aldo and like I don't know.
Want him to do whatever he wants to do.
I'm fine with that. Go do some boxing, make a bunch of money, whatever he wants to do. But man, it would be pretty fucking awesome if they somehow fast tracked Aldo to a title shot, re-sign him, fast track him, and give him one more shot.
Him versus Sandhagen. Maybe him versus Sandhagen, or I guess he's fighting Umar and he might lose to Umar. So.
I mean,
if Sandhagen wins, then maybe he fights Aldo, and the winner gets a title shot.
Aldo that we saw Saturday night is competitive with anybody. He has a shot, like against anybody in that weight class. He's competitive, so I'm perfectly fine with that happening. But I don't see that happening. I don't know if Aldo's going to come back and just fight like the Jonathan Martinez's of the world. I know he talked about like he still loves to do this and all that, and that's why he's fighting. It was in Rio. They gave him a Jonathan Martinez. I'm just not sure how often Aldo's going to get up for stuff like that anymore. It's not going to be in Rio every time. You get the Jonathan Martinez of the world. How's a guy like Aldo supposed to get up for guys like that in fucking, random New Jersey or wherever the fuck they throw a card like, but I mean, if they want to give Aldo a shot, he's the name. Like, I'm fine with that.
Here we go. Aldo Figgy main events a card down in Brazil for the next bantamweight title shot.
Sign that shit up.
It's perfect.
Could you imagine him and Figgy? Woo.
Right?
Woo. God damn. Man, there's fights. Don't get me wrong. There are a number of fights that would just be just insane. But I don't want to see Jose Aldo this late in his career fighting
some dude
like on
Jonathan Martinez, unless we're gonna get dog price on him.
Yeah,
if they're gonna put him in a co-main or a main down in Rio or in Brazil and let him get a body.
But they're going to Brazil once a year, so
exactly. Yeah, exactly. They did say today, which was good to hear, that they're gonna start trying to. That they're gonna start getting out of the Apex. But in the same breath, dude was like, it's very valuable for us to hold cards in the Apex. So,
no shit.
Yeah.
Rest of the main card here, we had Anthony Smith getting the guillotine in round 1 over Vitor Petrino. Michel Pereira, first round, also guillotine over Ihor. And Caio Baralho finally finding a finish. Bear Jew went into Brazil and did the job. The man knows the business. He knows what's up. Put the local boy over, just as any good vet would do. And finished that in the second round. Sadness. Shaun, thoughts on any of the main card stuff?
I will be quick. Vitor Petrino is an absolute fucking moron, and he literally gave Anthony Smith the only way he was gonna win that fight. Michel Pereira's fucking awesome. This dude should just keep fighting lots. It's very fun to watch him fight, especially when he's crushing guys as bad as Ihor. And Baralho is a absolute pussy for not trying to grapple.
Obviously.
Guys, this guy's supposedly a BJJ guy, grappling guy, and he's just absolutely terrified of the Bear Jew on the ground. Just
coward.
Sad.
In Brazil, no less.
Yeah, I know.
Like, come on. I didn't have the volume on for that. Was I correct in my assumption from last week that the Brazilian fans were cheering for the Bear Jew?
They were cheering at some points of that fight. I'm not sure if it lined up with the Bear Jew, though.
It is pretty sad that Paul Craig has literally never figured out a way to like get a dude down without being knocked out unconscious first. Like, it's happened so many times, but you're like, if this guy could just get, I mean, we saw it like a title, he got fucking heels, the dummy went to the ground with him, snapped arm. Like, he just, if you could ever get one of these dudes to the ground, like, I don't care. I'd take that plus 1,200 again every day of the week against that guy.
Absolutely.
Petrino can go fuck himself. That dude literally cost me a massive like D-Gen parlay that I put together with like 7 or 8 legs on the card. Would have paid me a fucking grip. And this dude, that's dumb. That's dumb shit. I ain't even gonna talk about that anymore. It was awesome that I saw somebody tweet they did the Shogun Hall of Fame thing. Then the Michel Pereira was the next fight with Ihor, and they're like, man, that's cold-blooded. Like, they pull Shogun out, and then they're bringing the guy out that like ended this dude. And I'm like, y'all just wait. Then Pereira goes out there and pulls off some of the wildest shit you've ever seen in Brazil. Like, there you go. Fuck Ihor. Pereira's insane. Like, I know the guy's like held it together lately and looked incredible. Broke out the dumb shit a little bit here. Probably almost got himself disqualified doing it. Got away with it in Brazil, and that was fucking insane. I love that dude.
I told Shaun he was going to bring back some of the wacky last week because of the Brazilian crowd.
Yeah, he knew he was fighting a bum. He's like, this is a bum. I'm in Brazil.
Yep.
Like, then they wrote out Shogun, put him in the Hall of Fame. Pereira's probably like, nah, I gotta go fucking crazy here. That was good.
Bring back soccer kicks for one fight only.
One fight. Yeah.
I mean, bring back soccer kicks for all fights, but in this instance, prelim time, featherweight division. Anderson Brito won because Jack Shore had a boo-boo on his leg, and apparently that's it's not something we can fight with in Brazil. Yasmin Lucindo, unanimous decision over Karolina Kovacevic. The Minty Betts Oral-B, unanimous decision over Elvis Brenner. Drakkar Klose, unanimous decision over Joaquim Silva. Mauricio Huffy over Jamie Malarkey. Flying knee. Dude might be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he's good, but might be fun.
He's already Conor McGregor, bro. Like, you didn't know. They were literally like, this dude looks like Conor. Look how he fights. And I'm like, oh my God.
Some people shouldn't be allowed to talk, really. It's just you can't say stuff like that. You can't. Anyway, Dionne Warwick, unanimous decision over Ernest, goes to the octagon. Ishmael Bonfim, unanimous decision over Vink Pickle. Overhit there. And Alessandro Costa takes out Kevin Borjas. Second round. Ground and pound. Shaun, thoughts? If any.
Burrito's good. Weird stoppage, but Burrito is very good. I lost some money on that. I don't think it would have mattered even if they let him keep fighting, but it's a weird stoppage. Oral B gassing, not the best look, but I think he's still good enough to get a lot of guys down. And Brenner, I think, is just better than we thought at scrambling and stuff like that. So, yeah, Ruffy did look good, but yes, he is not Conor McGregor. Huffy, sorry.
We don't pronounce the R's in Brazil.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wes, anything to add on the prelims?
Yeah, Burrito's insane, man. Like if that guy's cardio can hold up, like he's a problem. It was weird.
That nasty.
Literally, a doctor comes in, sticks his thumb inside dude's leg, and was like, it's broken. And like, come to find out, it's like wasn't fractured, wasn't broken, nothing. Horrible stoppage. I don't think it would have mattered. I think Burrito was on his way. I'm not sure Burrito was going to gas and get taken out by Short in that third round or anything. Yeah, the old Oral B gassing like that. He's still going to be like Shaun said, a problem with his wrestling. I ended up betting close because the line just got so good, and my God, that dude, his chin is fucked, man. He's a really good fighter, really good wrestling. Everything's great. Chin's fucking done already. It's bad.
Yep. Not good.
Yeah. Huffy looked great. Like, don't get me wrong, that guy might be good, but just because he stands and throws strikes a certain way, he looks like Conor. Like, can we stop making these comparisons? Like,
we cannot, in fact.
Yeah, I got the over on the old Vic Pickle stayed in there for us, and Costa. That was one of my most surprising bets on the card to me. Like Costa was even money to that guy. Like I don't know how many people watch Costa's fights. The dude is actually pretty good, and he was even money to this fucking guy down in Brazil. That was wild to me. Good card, hell of a card though.
Yeah, a little bit of a lull there in the prelims, but main card excellent, and the right guys won for once, which is always nice when it comes to MMA. We are going to move it along to UFC. Is this another ESPN thing, Shaun? Or
damn right. Big ESPN.
Derrick Lewis. He gets the people going. You can find him in St. Louis this weekend under the Arch. What you know about the Arch, huh? Wes? What you know about the Lou? I guess you actually know a lot about the Lou, just a different Lou.
Nelly?
Yeah.
This is about it.
Really?
I know their baseball team has got a lot of racist people that cheers for it. Like, seriously, the Cardinal fans might be some of the most racist on the planet. But
fun.
Love
it. Shitty beer comes from St. Louis as well, right?
My kind of stuff. Yeah.
It sure is. And fight cards.
Woke beer.
UFC on ESPN 53? 56. Oh, usually I get closer than that on the numbers. I'm only off by like one or two. I must have just erased the other ESPN ones from.
They were bad. I'll tell you right now, they were bad.
There you go. This one also not great, but we're gonna break it all down. Kicking it off in the women's flyweight division, Veronica Hardy, JJ Aldrich. Shaun, who you got?
Probably a 50-50 fight. over 2.5 is -450. I took Aldrich and the same and over 2.5 same game parlay boost for +175 per unit.
There you go, Wes.
Yeah, close fight. I think you have to take a little shot on Aldrich as a dog here.
I don't think you have to.
Yeah, you do if you're a degenerate, but you don't have to.
You know who you're talking to, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm also gonna take a shot on Aldrich.
Fine.
Easily too.
And
Oh.
there is zero chance that I'm watching this fight. So whether it wins or lose, I'm not going to learn my lesson. But she's one of those fighters that you never bet as a favorite. But if she's a dog, especially against somebody of this caliber, not too shabby a play to make. Welterweight division, Jared Gooden, Kevin Jusset. Shaun, talk like a beer.
All right, it's not gonna be long, so I'll just pass it to Wes after I'm done. I don't really care too much about this fight. Jusset probably gets some takedowns. Jared Gooden is not good. Yeah. Hopefully Jusset can get him out of there quick, because I don't really give a shit about this fight. What are your thoughts, Wes?
Yeah, about the same. I lean Jesuit here, but I mean, who really cares, man? Yeah, Jesuit probably some humping takedowns, and it's very boring. I'll pick him. I want no part of a bet here, which should tell you something.
That's bad.
Go. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably pick Gooden, Gordon, Baden,
Gooden.
Yeah, I'll probably take him just in Toutmaster. No real interest in betting this. I'm not convinced yet that Kevin Jesuit, as Wes likes to call him, is good. So not going to be on him here at over 2-1. Flyweight division, Jake Hadley. Is his nickname still? Yep, his nickname is still White Kong. Yep. Taking on Charles Johnson.
This man probably got 3-inch piece calling himself White Kong and shit.
Hey, he's probably got some records on Donkey Kong at the
that's what it is.
Nottingham arcade or something like that, wherever this dude's from. That's one of his life's greatest achievements.
Yikes.
Shaun, I guess you.
I'm gonna bet Charles Johnson. I think he can keep this fight on the feet for the most part, and when it's on the feet, he's actually pretty decent. Anytime he's losing, he's just getting held on and laid on and shit like that. But when it's on the feet, he has success. I don't think Hadley's that good, so I'll be playing him, and he's what, plus 121.
There's some plus 136 at FanDuel now.
Oh, there is plus 135 somewhere else too. Yeah,
that is not bad.
Lots of options.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Shaun on this one. I think he might have turned a corner his last time out. Like he lost a few really close decisions in a row, but like he just kept getting taken down and just being fine with being held down on his back and stuff. And last fight, he was not. He scrambled like crazy. He got up out of those positions, and then when it was on the feet, he landed. I think that can absolutely happen here. I'm not sure that Hadley can even get the takedowns that the old As hat got on Johnson, that he scrambled out of and got up from last fight. And then on the feet, I mean, Johnson's not a bad striker, man. He's very fucking long. He knows how to use it. He's got a tiny bit of pop. So, yeah, I mean, at plus 136, I like him in the spot.
Who are you calling an ass at?
I'm not trying to pronounce that guy's last name, so we're going to go something close.
Yeah, Unfortunately for the listeners, more alignment here. Jake Hadley has 0 takedowns in the UFC. He got 1 on the Contender Series. And it's not always that like you just don't get takedowns. It's that he's fighting guys who are not good wrestlers, and he is a grappler, and he's not getting takedowns. Like Malcolm Gordon, Carlos Candelario, and Alan Nascimento, any of those dudes, if you even like think about it, they'll be like, yeah, sure.
Gordon's real bad.
Get some top control.
Gordon will lay down for you. Like,
yeah. And no takedowns in fights against all of those guys. So even if he gets 1 or 2 against Johnson here, we know Johnson's really good at scrambling back to his feet. I think he's the much better striker in this spot. We know he's got good pace. So, yeah, I'm thinking probably Johnson by decision. If that prop ends up being significantly bigger than the money line, we'll take a quick look. But as I said, more not the consensus bet, but more consensus happening. Next up, welterweight division. Trey Waters, way too tall. Just way too tall. Stop being so tall. It's gross, okay? People don't like it. People don't want to see it. Even Shaun doesn't want to see that shit against Billy Goff. Shaun, what do you think of it?
I knew he was tall. He's 6'5", man. 6'5", 170 is fucking wild.
He's way too tall. That's what.
Yeah.
I don't exaggerate. I just tell the truth.
You do. It's hard to get a read for me on this one. Both these guys have just beat absolutely the lowest level fighters to fight in the UFC. So I don't know. It's tough to take too much away from their wins. That man is too tall. I will go with let's get some tall guy defense. I'll pick old Billy Goff to get a knockout, and hopefully it's a good meme-worthy one.
Wesley.
Yeah, I don't have a good read on this at all. I'm with Shaun. I'll take some Billy Goff and Top Master. I don't even know about sprinkling on a little KO or something here. I don't know. I don't have a good read on this one.
Yeah, back in the day, I probably would have had some Goff KO just on principle. There's plus 360 out there.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Like if you've got all of the legals, you'll get some better numbers. You'll probably get something around plus 400. Most of his wins are by early knockout. So the recipe is there for some tall guy shit to happen. And that's what I would like to see happen. I don't know that I'll get to put my money on it, but yeah, we're considering it if we're bored and watching this on a Saturday evening. Women's strawweight division. I guess you can just say strawweight division. There's no men's strawweight division. Yeah. So strawweight division. Tabitha Ricci. Tisha Momquit Torres.
Pennington? Pennington?
Isn't it like Torres and then Pennington's in brackets?
It's straight Pennington.
Is
according
it?
to the Wikipedia, yes.
Oh, there you go.
Probably a 50-50 fight. Over 2.5 is minus 350. I will be taking Torres by decision at plus 175, unless they give me a better price on the same game parlay with the over 2.5.
Wesley.
Yeah, just like the first chick fight, I think this is so close. If it wasn't for the 2-year layoff and all that shit, I would feel a whole lot better with Torres. Actually, I think she's the better fighter, but with the layoff and everything else, close chick fight, you got to take some of that plus money. And in this one, I do like a little bit of that decision as well, plus 175. Probably get a little better number when all the legals drop everything. So yeah, like Torres or Pennington. Torres, Pennington.
The tiny tornado.
There we go. The one that gets lesbianized by random dudes at their gym. We'll go old school.
Two people listening right now.
Yeah, know what I'm talking about.
What you're talking about. And they're the two guys that you're currently talking to, I think. Anyway, I got to Pennington Tisha. I got Tisha as well. Ricci needs to be able to out wrestle somebody to win a fight, and in the fights that she hasn't, they haven't been against particularly good fighters or strikers, and she's lost. And I think that's kind of the same case here, but plus 175 on Tisha by decision is plus 175 on Tisha money line, pretty much. So yeah, we'll take whatever the highest price we can find is on that. I don't think there's going to be any risk of mom quit, because I don't think she's going to get to any of those positions. So going against the model here, as they say. Lightweight division, Terrence McKinney, old T. McKee, taking on Esteban Hribovic, who I always have to remind myself is not European. He is Argentinian of possibly nefarious descent following World War II.
Sketchy shit. As with pretty much every Terrence McKinney fight, it really comes down to, is he going to win in the first round? Because it doesn't get him out of there. It doesn't seem like he does well in fights. Him in round one is plus 275. It's not an amazing number, but that's kind of the way he has to do it. I think he could probably get some takedowns on this Hribovic and maybe get some out of there. I don't know. I'm probably just gonna stay away, but I'm a little bit surprised that the number is as big as it is on McKinney, just his money line.
Yeah, and I assume by money line you mean round one.
Well, even just a money line too, but yeah, basically,
I got you. Yeah. Wes.
Yeah, I am a little surprised. Like this dude lost to Loki fucking Radic like not that long ago. So this fight to me just pretty much comes down to, like Shaun said, is McKinney gonna win in round one? That's plus 275. If you like McKinney, I think if you like Esteban, this fight probably gets out of the first round. So I think fight starts round two at slight plus money is a better bet than Esteban if you like him in this fight, because I don't think he's going to get McKinney out of there in the first. He's not a finisher. He doesn't finish anybody. McKinney needs to finish in the first, or he gasses and shit. Like, so I just think that's a better bet if you like Esteban in this spot. I haven't made up my mind yet. I'm going back and forth. This does seem a little long on McKinney. Like, I think he's the better guy, but man, he's got a big fucking weakness. Like, if he can't get it done, he's probably fucked. Like, more times than not, if McKinney can't get somebody out of there quick, and it's not even like a round usually. If he's not getting them out of there in the first few minutes, he's usually fucking done. He's hanging on to get into the second, and then he's been finished in the second a couple times recently. So, right now, I'm going to pick McKinney right now, and that's kind of how I'm leaning. I think he's slightly the better guy, but man, he's got to get it done. He's got to get it done early. If not, he's fucked.
Yeah, I was trying to see if there was one of Shaun's Hribovic over 1.5 same games going on at
365.
You can put them together.
Yeah.
Like, and just see.
He was just wondering if there's a boost.
Yeah. I know they do boost.
If you just do Hribovic and over 1.5, it's plus 275.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can put them together if you want.
And there's also McKinney under 1.5 at plus 225.
Yeah.
If you want, you could probably do those two things and find a way to make some decent money on this. I'll probably end up on a semi-decent number on McKinney early and just play it small, and that's about it.
Yeah, lean that way myself for sure.
Next up, sticking around in the lightweight division, Chase Hooper, an old cold soup.
Cold soup.
Slava Borscht. Shaun, is the old strikey guy gonna win, or is the young grapply guy who can't wrestle gonna win?
I have no fucking idea. I don't seem to know when Chase Hooper is gonna lose and when he wins, because I think I've lost a good chunk of money fading him when I shouldn't. So I think I'm just gonna stay away. If he's able to get Slava Claus on the ground, that's a pretty bad look for old Slava Claus, because his takedowns are still terrible, but they work against very shitty guys. If this is on the feet for any period of time, I think Slava Claus will have some big success. So I will pick him, but I don't want to lose more money fading Chase Hooper.
Notably, old cold soup has been taken down twice or more in all of his fights, except when he fought the Machete.
Machete. Noted NCAA wrestler Machete.
Yeah, exactly.
Beijing High All-Stater, baby.
Wes, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, with Hooper, he's so young. You don't know the improvements that he's making from fight to fight. Like, he should be better. Like, some of those things should be better. I just think Brad hit it. Like, Slava's probably going to get taken down here. And Hooper's not horrible on the mat at this point. On the feet, like, I don't know the improvement Hooper's made, but this shouldn't be close on the feet. I mean, they're betting Hooper here. Like, the Slava lines come down like 40 cents or so, 45 cents over this week. So, I mean, he was up around minus 185, 190 earlier in the week when I was looking at this. There's minus 140 in some spots. So I don't know. If you like Slava here, wait it out a little longer. Definitely the vet. Stays on the feet. I think he wins. Brad pointed it out. This guy gets taken down by everybody. Hooper's not everybody either, though. The guy can't wrestle for shit. So he needs just some kind of trip against the cage or something like that to happen to get Slava down. So I don't know, man. There's so much going on here. This is probably a pass for me. I'll pick Slava to put the bet on him, the bet move.
Yeah, I think kind of anything can happen in this fight because both guys are so deficient at the thing that their opponent does well that, like, if it is on the feet for a prolonged period of time, I know that Hooper looked better against some scrub they had him in a couple fights ago. But it was just a bunch of meaningless volume, really. If he tries that shit against cold soup, he's going to get iced. No? And
chilled.
Anybody seems to be able to take down Slava. So if Hooper ends up on top, he is very good at maintaining position. Not the greatest like subs and finishing in the world, which is kind of pushing me towards, hey, this dumb thing could happen and Chase Hooper could win a decision at plus 550 by just getting a couple rounds of top control. So I might end up with a little play on that. Slava's also never been finished. His wrestling is absolute dog shit, but I think his overall defensive grappling isn't the worst in the world. So I don't think he's just going to get overwhelmed by Chase Hooper on the ground. So might take a little of that decision, plus 550, and we will see. Main card time now, and you know what that means. We got to kick it off with some heavyweights, because that's what the people come to see. Legendary action fighter Waldo Cortez Acosta taking on the Robespierre, Cuban gold medal dude. Taekwondo? Was that the thing?
I think so.
Anyway, he's athletic, as they say. Shaun, what do you got here?
I think you two gentlemen are going to disagree with me, but I'm done losing money on this guy for a little while, just on his fights. We obviously, I think most of us were on the over when he absolutely obliterated Josh Parisian. Cortez Acosta is not going to grapple this guy, so it's going to be on the feet. My guess is Despain is going to crush him. And I know people will say, Cortez has never been finished. He only has one loss. The fighters that he has beat in the UFC have a combined 0 finishes in the last 10 years in the UFC. When somebody who's actually has power like this dude does is going to touch this guy, he's going to go down. So I expect Despain to get rid of him in the first round. But you gentlemen, there's been times very recently where I jump off a train and you guys keep going with it, and it usually works out for you. So you're welcome.
Wesley.
Look, he did knock out Carbo, but Carbo fought like an idiot. That dude went there and started trying to throw hands with this guy. Waldo, it's gonna be where's Waldo? That guy don't fucking throw. He fucking runs and ducks and weaves, dude. He might run for the first round. I do like the old Despain. I think the guy's decent, but come on now, man. He knocked out 0-0, 0-0, 0-0, 0-0, 1-0. Those are the 4 guys he knocked out before Parisian. Literally never had a fight. All these dudes had 0 fights. The 4th dude, I mean, if he goes in there and smoke can get a hold of Waldo and smoke, for me, it's more Waldo than him. I think the guy wins. I think he's gonna catch up to him eventually in this fight. But man, it's where's Waldo? Run, Waldo. Let him find you later on. Fight starts round 2's even money. I'm gonna take a little of that to be safe. That over 1.5 is plus 180 something. Look, I think the guy's got a little power. He's a good fight. Could be a good fight, good heavyweight. But come on, man. This guy's knocked out 4 bums. Carbo, that Carbo that fights like that is a bum. Parisian can't fight like that against anybody in the heavyweight division. He's getting knocked out. Waldo ain't fighting. It's more Waldo. He's not fighting like Parisian did last time out. I like the over here. I do like Despain in the fight, though, too. I might look to put him in a small parlay.
To me, it's just one of those things where, you're not going to knock out everybody in 4 seconds. That's just not how fighting works.
Not dudes that got a bunch of fights either. They'd been in there and been hit, and they're like, I'm not going to just walk in there and start throwing A's with this guy.
Exactly. And sometimes you get, rumor is Carbo went keto before that fight. So his brain wasn't working properly.
Hanging out with Rob Lowe and shit. It's Atkins. My bad. He went Atkins on us.
Atkins, yeah. Same thing.
Honestly, Wes said it. For him, it's more about Waldo than anything. For me, it's more about just that's not how fighting works. You don't just knock everybody out in 6 seconds.
Heavyweights.
You still
even more so. It even
out.
even more so in current day heavyweights. They don't knock each other out like that anymore. They're all fat slobs that usually start gassing after 3
This
minutes.
guy definitely not fat slob.
No,
so
he's
nice
good.
to-
I think he's good. I actually think he's good.
Yeah, it's just eventually he's going to get in there with somebody that even if they're not competitive with him, they're going to stick around for a while. And
then what does he do? Like, how does he react
exactly.
to that
And
too?
we have
You know,
no clue what happens to him. His first fight went almost around against a guy that had never fought before. And then everything else has literally been within the first 20 seconds.
Yep.
Like we don't know how this dude's going to react in a fight. And that's not enough to make me want to bet Waldo here. But I am willing to bet that this at least turns into an actual fight and he sticks around for a while. And we'll play some fatties here.
we're back to
We'll
true
probably take some
fatties.
fight starts round 2 as well, like Wesley. And I can't do it. I feel like this could be a one where like it drags out, but he still wins. So the DePayne 1200 decision.
Nah, I can't go. I actually
Yeah.
can't go that far.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
That feels like one that I'm going to pull the trigger on, and we'll be talking.
It's gonna happen eventually, right? It's gonna happen with this guy. It happens to all of them. It happens to all of them,
right? So he's fighting his second UFC caliber guy, which is really like still kind of a zero with UFC caliber guy. So we'll see. Moving on up in terms of, well, I guess Alien Woodson's almost as tall as old DePayne, but we're going to move down 120 pounds, which, ugh. Trey Waters, you're forgiven because at least you're not Shaun
you don't
Woodson
look like it.
gonna collapse and implode on yourself from being so damn alien skinny. Anyway, he's fighting Alex Caceres. Bruce Leroy still doing it, up to a 60% career winning percentage. Absolute legend. Shaun, what do you got here?
These are more guys that I seem to just never get their fights correct. I think I took Caceres last time out against Giga. Obviously, that was a close fight, but he obviously got the loss there. I was on Pineda with some early finishes in that fight, and that obviously lost. So I don't know what's going on. Woodson kind of just defies logic with his alien body. He's 5-1-1 in the UFC. It's wild to think that this guy, and it's just hard to trust him. It's hard to trust that in. Bruce Leroy is almost 36, and at the lower weight classes, that is not a good thing. So I'll pick Woodson, but it's tough to back that guy with just an absolute sketchy chin.
Wesley.
Yeah, I lean Woodson in this fight. I think the way it plays out, it's just gonna favor him. You'll have to worry about him gassing a little, and in the third, Leroy could probably start landing some things and stuff when Woodson gets a little gassy. I don't know if Leroy's got the stuff to get Woodson out of there. I don't know. I like Woodson by decision as around even money, but I don't know if I can play that. What I love, I've actually been parlaying already a few times. The price is climbing up, but the over 2.5. This fight is cruising 15 minutes, man. Neither one of these guys is getting a finish in this fight. It's starting to creep up, though. I got it at around minus 260 or so, I believe, and I got that in a few things. I love the over. I think this goes 15 minutes easily, either side.
Probably going to take a little shot on old Bruce Leroy here. I just think that he's one of those guys that fights long, even as a guy that's already kind of long. So I think that's going to give Woodson some problems. And honestly, he's just going to bob and bounce and dance around. And I think a lot of the exchanges are going to be one-off sort of exchanges. And I think that's just going to lead to a very competitive fight. As Wes said, probably going to go to decision. The decision prop for Caceres isn't much higher than the money line. So I'm just going to take a little shot on the plus 185 at the money line because I think it's a competitive striking match where he does have some grappling upside if he decides to hop on Woodson's back or do something like that, and could perhaps find a sub that way. There's a lot of neck there to be choked, so, or just limbs in general to be grabbed. So a little shot on old Bruce Leroy. Lightweight division again. Mateusz Rebecki taking on Diego Ferreira. It's it throws me off that it's Diego Ferreira because it's Carlos Diego Ferreira's. Yeah, what are we doing here?
I mean, it's Carlos Diego Ferreira Nieves, actually, but he just keeps on cutting his name down. He dropped it to CDF, and now it's just DF. I don't know this guy.
He's trying to get down to those Brazilian soccer players and just have one fucking name going forward.
He's trying.
When they decided not to go with Jen Gleason Herculano Alves for Gleason Tebow, then you can't go back to full names after that. No. I mean, that's the GOAT Brazilian name.
I think most of us have made a good amount of money on Diego Ferreira's fights, whether that was his nice winning streak he had or kind of the rough streak he was on before getting a W last time out. Usually when he has success in fights, he is the better offensive grappler so that he can either take guys down and beat them up on the ground or keep the fight where he wants it when he has a striking advantage. I don't think he's going to be able to do that here. Rebecki is going to be able to out grapple him, just out physical him. And even when it's on his feet, Rebecki has okay striking and he's got good power. So I think Rebecki is gonna be able to do some gnarly things to the sadly 39-year-old Diego Ferreira. So I'll be putting Rebecki in a couple parlays.
Wes?
Yeah, I agree with Shaun. Rebecki's a tank, man. This guy's actually pretty good. CDF at 39 now. Like, he's old, man. He's been through some scraps and shit too. I do say I think CDF is still fairly tough though, and this over 2.5 is like plus money. Like, I know Rebecki's got some finishes lately and stuff, but it's like he armbarred Roosevelt Roberts and shit. Just some funny subs he's pulled off on some guys that just aren't that good. CDF is really, really good. He's not getting caught in some dumb armbar or something. Rebecki's gonna have to pound him out if he wants to get him out of there. So, and that overs plus 140 at Bet Online right now. I don't hate that at all. I will probably take a little of that. And the Rebecki decision price is plus 250. I think that's a good spot here too. I do like Rebecki in this fight. I don't hate little parlay piece, but just think CDF's still tough enough, even at this stage of his career, to where a guy like Rebecki's not gonna pull off one of those crazy subs. I think he needs to get a finish in this fight. So, do like Rebecki, probably a little bit of that decision, and definitely like the over.
Yeah, I was gonna lean into my old trope of, I mean, we got a Brazilian guy. They just had a Brazil card last week, and they didn't book him on that one. But in this case, he lives and trains in Texas, so it actually makes more sense that he's going to St. Louis to hang out with Nelly. Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's looked particularly bad in his fights. He just kind of hit a ceiling, and his ceiling was Benny Dariush in a super competitive fight, Gregor Gillespie in a fight where he almost made Gregor Gillespie die in the first round before there was a massive comeback, and Mateusz Gamrot, who's like a top 5 lightweight at this point. So he's losing to the very, very top guys. He's beat everyone else. As Wes said, he's extremely tough. He's a very good grappler when he's not completely overwhelmed and gassed. There's some stuff going for CDF in this fight.
He's gonna do it. He's wanting to do it. He wants to do it.
I do want to do it. I definitely feel much better about the over. And even if you want to, not go all the way to the 2.5 because you're concerned that his cardio's fallen off a bit, 1.5 is minus 153. Minus
what is
8 at places. There's probably some other ones out there for alternate totals, but
fight starts round 3's even money.
Yeah, like starting to get into that sort of stuff. I do think that CDF has a shot in this fight. I don't think that he's just going to get overwhelmed with the Rebeshki's wrestling. There's a big gap between Rosie Roberts and old Loki Rajabov and CDF, even at 39 years old. So we'll see if I get there by the end of the week. But man, that's it has me intrigued a little bit, and it's probably going to go up from here if we're being honest. Moving up to the light heavyweight division, Alonzo Menafield and Carlsberg. Shaun,
somebody got to die.
Yeah. Menafield 5-1-1 in his last 7 fights. Light heavyweight is just a fucking disaster. Menafield's okay. I don't think he's going to be able to get takedowns on Ulberg. Ulberg's just going to be the better striker. Could Menafield catch him? It's possible, especially at these shitty weight classes. But after that kind of first shitty fight in the UFC for Ulberg, he seems to have kind of figured it out a little bit better. And against these kind of lower level guys, I think his skill is going to be enough.
Wesley?
I don't know, man. You still can't convince me that Ulberg is any fucking good, bro. Like, I watched him get fucking knocked out.
He's good at light heavyweight.
I get it, man. He's fine. He's fine. Like, you can't tell me.
You're right, Wes. He is a very good looking.
Well, I mean, we're not. You want to talk about good looking now? God damn.
He's fine.
But like, you can't tell. Like, Menafield could, if he connects on this guy, he could absolutely fucking hurt this. We got a little bit of tall guy going on here. I know it's light heavies, but Ulberg got a little bit of tall guy going on as well. Menafield's definitely going to be a little tank in there comparatively. I don't know. Yeah, Ulberg's better. He definitely better kickboxer. No, I want to bet Ulberg here. Like, I mean, his KO's like even money. Menafield's KO's like plus 450. Which one do I want to take a little bit of shot on here? I think I might just take a little Menafield KO at plus 450. If he doesn't get out of there, Ulberg's going to just stay at some distance, try to throw some kicks, some straight punches. And yeah, he probably wins. I think if Ulberg wins, it probably gets over that 1.5, which is a little juicy right now. Probably eventually gets Menafield out of there, but I think it could go a little bit of time if it's Ulberg's fight, because that's just how he fights. So yeah, I'm going to take the plus 450 and hope it doesn't turn into Ulberg sitting back and kickboxing at distance for fucking 15 minutes.
Yeah, I can't remember who I said this about recently, but I was going, it was probably Jamal Hill, where it's like all of his wins are against fucking old or chinny dudes, and Menafield on his recent 4-fight winning streak, 5-fight undefeated streak, it's been some of the same dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the fraud dude who never should have been in the UFC. Misha Serkinov, I assume he's retired now because he got knocked out by a stiff breeze. Jimmy Crute gets hurt all the time, and somehow Menafield couldn't actually knock him out. He had to submit him, which is hilarious. And then the Jacoby one just baffles me. I still don't quite understand that fight. And that's probably the one that has me most concerned with playing Carlsberg here. I think it's just a pass because it's a weird one, but I do think that it should be Carlsberg styling on an increasingly tired Menafield as this fight goes. There's obviously that round one potential for Menafield. I think the price is pretty decent too. There's like $550 out there. But even if he doesn't, if he can get a couple takedowns, like Carlsberg can't really grapple at all. We've seen him defend a couple takedowns, but nothing from anybody good. And he usually hurts people before they can even grapple him. So he's going to be the pick. I think it's sadly a pass for the folks at home. Co-main event, welterweight division. Joaquin Buckley, Nursultan Roziboyev. Shaun.
Who's your boy?
I am not tired of losing money fading Buckley. So I am doing another deposit. He is not that good in my opinion. I don't know who the ghost of Vicente Luque that was in that last fight, but that was not him. Roziboyev, obviously he's just tossed a couple just scrubs. I think he's good. He's got a ton of experience before the UFC. This is a pretty decent step up for him, but I'm taking a shot. 1 unit plus 125.
Wes?
No, the ghost of Luque was the dude that showed up and fought RDA. That's the ghost now. the actual
Wild.
Luque showed up against Buckley. Like he's done. We got fooled with that RDA performance, I think, because he's still just about done. Yeah, I gotta agree with Shaun here. Like I'm gonna lose more money against Buckley. I guess I personally still don't see it, man. I mean, yeah, props to him beating Luque, whatever version that was. Just still I don't believe it. I think who's your boy here can get a hold of Buckley eventually, work him over a little bit. I'm not convinced, man. Buckley supposedly got this power. He beat on Luque and beat on mushbrain fucking Luque forever to get him out of there, going 15 with Morono and shit still. Like we saw those fights, pieced up by Chris Curtis. Like I still remember those fights. So yeah, I'm going to take a little shot here, and me and Shaun will probably lose more money betting against Buckley because he's probably going to smoke this guy around. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it could be worse. This could be you guys betting on the Beverly Hills Ninja against Buckley again. Even I didn't fall for that one. All right.
Yeah.
That was a wild number. I'm pretty sure I took like round 1 TKO at like plus 1600 or something. But yeah, that was a nice one.
I agree. I've never been huge on Buckley, but man, the who's your boy? That is an absolutely fraudulent record. Like he's one of those dudes that you're like, oh yeah, he's been fighting in Russia, so he must be fighting good guys. But he's fighting in all of the promotions that you've never heard of in Russia and Eastern Europe, and racking up 8 losses while he's doing it. Like this isn't one of those guys that it's not Peter Yan coming out of Russia with one loss against a dude that's also really fucking awesome. And he's fought all of the best dudes over there.
To be fair, he hasn't lost in 4 years against
and
regional.
His first UFC one, like that caddy beating his first UFC fight is actually not bad. Like, that's a scary fucking dude. That I know it was Philly Hawes, but he put that man in a fucking body bag.
Murdered RoboCop.
Yeah, I mean, like that dude, that guy he beats not bad. But I get Brad's right about the Russian. Right? Like, some of those dudes fought in like ACB and shit and stuff like that. Some good.
Nope.
This guy didn't. He was beating up fucking goat farmers and shit.
So yeah, that's holding. I feel like this is probably lined about right. Seeing how their recent fights have gone, under 1.5 isn't enough for me. So 2 passes in a row on the main card. Why am I even watching?
That's what you're gonna ask yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
I think I'm gonna pick Buckley though, just because you guys are aligned. Not liking the vibes there. I'm gonna have to flip
Buckley
over.
Finds a way now. He finds a way, man. That dude wins fights now somehow.
There you go. Main event time. Back to the heavyweight division. Got to bookend it. Start and finish the main card with the big boys. That's what the people come to see, especially when they're Derrick Lewis and Rodrigo Nascimento. Shaun, is he top 500?
Yeah, he's not, but I don't know. That doesn't matter anymore, unfortunately.
No, maybe top 50.
Yeah, we got to expand that a lot. Yeah, this is a weird fight. Like, I think this can get sloppy fairly quickly. Nascimento has got some takedowns against some guys along his UFC career. Would I be surprised if we get him laying on Derrick Lewis for 2-3 minutes at some point, or maybe in a couple rounds? I wouldn't.
Many points.
Nascimento, the only time he's really lost in the UFC, he did get absolutely smoked by the big Dukakis. I guess that could happen here. Lewis, he has the history of what he does, but I think that's gonna, slowly fade away. I know 39 is doesn't matter at heavyweight, but the way he fights it might matter. I think this gets gross and sloppy, and we get some fatties. If it does go that long, then I think Nascimento has a decent shot at winning here.
It's not even necessarily like the way he fights, but like at 39, he never really trained a whole lot. How much less is he training now? I know how much less I train at 38 than I did in my younger years. So we'll see. Wes?
Yeah, I mean, the fatties here is just a must spot. I mean, we've seen Derrick Lewis fights nowadays. I've seen Nascimento fight, and that's he's not engaging Derrick Lewis to get knocked out. That's just not gonna happen. He'll get a takedown in this fight early. Like, Lewis is gonna swing something dumb and go off balance, and Nascimento is taking him down in this fight. So I really like the over 1.5, but I will say, I don't know, man. You give Derrick Lewis 25 minutes, and if you're not going to hold him down completely for 25 minutes, he's got a chance. Like, he's got a big fucking chance against Nascimento, because Nascimento's not fucking Jill, man. Like, he's not going to just lay on fucking Derrick Lewis, I think, for 25 minutes here. Maybe he does. I don't see it. I think they're going to get in this second, third, fourth round and Nascimento's going to be tired. Like Derrick Lewis is going to get opportunities to throw punches. Is one going to land? Is going to be the question. I'm kind of leaning that Derrick Lewis eventually connects on this guy sometime in the third, fourth round. I think Lewis is going to eventually get one. Not running to bet Derrick Lewis here. I've kind of been off that train as one people know forever. Now definitely off that train. Like the knockout, even though like was it his last time out? I think we all hit a two back against DeLima was a banger. Like I think we all banged Derrick Lewis in that fight. But I mean, besides that, that dude's got like, that win in 2 years or something like that. But
I think we were on him against Dukakis too.
Maybe y'all. Like I think the only time I've bet Derrick Lewis to win in the past like years is that DeLima fight.
That's fair.
But I'm picking him in this fight. He's going to get his spots against Nascimento, and that over is just, man, I like that over quite a bit. So Derrick Lewis is probably going to do old Derrick Lewis things and land on this guy in the first flurry and fucking knock him out in the first round. But if we get the card to end a little bit earlier, and we'll get a good knockout and won't care as much.
Edging.
That's the fatty's gonna fatty in a
That's it.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think this is gonna take a while. First, because Nascimento probably isn't going to be too excited to engage with a fresh or as fresh as Derrick Lewis gets. And then afterwards, if Nascimento does get a takedown on something stupid that Lewis does, Derrick Lewis is not an easy guy to sub. I know that, like, obviously the Jailman performance was something different. But even when guys are trying to sub Derrick Lewis, it takes some work. And I'm not sure how much of that Nascimento has in him. So definitely fatties. And I kind of see this as one of those ladder situations where you can sort of scale the bet size down as you go up the overs. It's worked a few times for me in fights like this recently, and probably going back to the well here. But most importantly, the consensus bet of the week. Fatty's gonna fatty over 1.5 plus 120 is I assume what we're going with on this. Widely available.
Two truths.
That is the consensus bet of the week. It's too perfect.
Yep.
It's too perfect. Also, Wes, if your thinking comes through here, Derrick Lewis, I saw some silly.
Yeah, those round numbers. Yeah, they're dumb, bro.
Once you get up to round 3, it's like 1,200. I think I saw like 13 or 14 if it's round 3 TKO, which like obviously it would be.
You gotta do that.
And then round 4 is 25. Round 5 is 40.
I'm taking some.
That's all still possible with the way I'm seeing this fight play out. I just don't think it happens early. First, because Nascimento won't let him engage, and if he does, he's gonna wrap him up, probably drag him down once or twice, and then it's just gonna get so sloppy. Oh. I heard you boys like them real sloppy. And we do. So hopefully everyone can enjoy that one with us. And that's going to do it for this weekend's card. Shaun, Wesley, any parting thoughts for the folks at home?
No,
Panthers are absolutely trucking the Bruins.
Yeah, I got involved in that series price before this.
Smart.
Same with the old Dallas boys for tomorrow. Got re-involved in that as well. So
let's go.
Yeah. I heard some other folks on that as well.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, we should hang up and we can flip the old dial over to Shaun's Oilers and the Canucks
Big goat.
and we will flip over to next week, I assume. But we will talk to you about that one when it happens.